Your audience with me will not go in vain. Translations. It appears that human beings and asura are subject to death, whereas demigods are not. The demigods who resides with Lord Brahma in Satyaloka go to Vaikuntha Loka in their present bodily construction. At the time of the dissolutions, therefore, although Hiranyakashipu had undergo severe austerities, Lord Brahma predicted that he had to die. He cannot become immortal or even gain equal status with the demigods. The great austerities and the penance he had performed for so many years could not give him protection from death. This was foretold by the Lord Brahma. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथावितं तं सजीवं सादयितं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीशाखाविन्ताक्ष हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे Hare Krishna. So, in this verse or in these chapters, Narad Muni explain to others rishis what happens when Hiranyakashipu decide to he becomes immortals because they are seeing every peoples along with us, along with his family, they are going to die or they are suffering with a death. And then they decide कि I want to become say immortals, Amarban. So he go to Himalayas and so many years they are going under the penance and austerity. Much difficult austerity they are doing. And at the end, Brahmaji appeared in front of him and say that, yes, my child, I am happy by seeing your austerity. Just ask what you want. And Hiranyakashipu says, I want to become say immortals. Brahma say, Bachu, after 100 years, I am also going to die. So how I give you this type of the benedictions? Then they say that yes, if you not giving that this type of the benedictions, then I ask another type of the benedictions, or I want to give you from you another type of the benedictions. And they are making such a n number of permutations and combinations. Na shastra se, na astra se, na pani se, na koi se. Humans and other animals in a day and in a night. They are such a beautiful permutation combinations are used, and Brahmaji said that they asking him. So in this verse, Brahmaji told Hiranyakashipu, what they say? They says because Hiranyakashipu want to benediction from Brahmaji. What the benediction? Benediction becomes a immortal. But Brahmaji says in this verse, Hiranyakashipu, my dear child, you are the supreme in a asuras. You are supreme asura pungava. Like that, Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjun, Bharata pungava. It means they are superior or best in the Bharat dynasty. And here Brahmaji says to Hiranyakashipu, Asura Pungava. Pungava means you are best of the best in the Asuras families. Or you are the higher qualified in your Asuras family. It means they are not ordinary persons. If we are thinking ourselves, we are ordinary persons or ordinary peoples, we are hankering for or doing such type of the austerity as our capability. For what? One day we become say immortals. Or we are planning is like that, we are thinking that we are doing this 1 year planning, we have this type of the plannings, next year we are doing another type of the plannings, and after 50 years what you want to do, after 10 years my salary becomes that number of values, and at that time we build a big bungalows, and we have a number of cars in front of my house or in front of my bungalows. We don't know when we leave, or when we call from the Yamraji. We don't know. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says to Arjuna, what they says? A Brahma Bhuvana Loke. It means from the Brahmaji life to heavenly planet to earthly planet, they are suffering with a death. The bank balance of the punya karmas or good karmas end, and that time heavenly peoples also suffering with the earthly planets. They are becomes a earthly planet and they are also going to die. It means if we are ordinary peoples or we are planning as like as we are never going to die. We are planning 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, 5,000 years. But we know our death is coming near 2 days, 1 days, after one nights. We don't know. But what we thinks we are never to die, or we are immortal. We are live as a immortal. They will think. We are thinking like that. But practical thing is that one day we also leave this world. It means if we are not thinking that we are suffering with the death, it means we also a Hiranyakasipu or we also a demand. Because demand thinks king is that we never to die or we want to become say immortals. So if we thinks yes one day we left this body and if my karma, my punya karmas or my good activities are is good, then I will elevated to a heavenly planets. If my activity is bad or will be bad, then I will punish by a prakriti or nature's law. So that type of the thinkings is necessary, or that type of thinking is a human thinkings. Sorry. The intelligence person thinks that we want to live from this world one day. This is the intelligence thinkings or human thinkings. If you are not thinking like that, then we also a Hiranyakashipu's families members are we are also asuras. So here we can understand if you are in this world or in a earthly planets, it means our body one day definitely lives. Our Brahmaji explains, our Brahmaji proved that, stamp that, कि you are not a heavenly persons. You are not a heavenly person. You are a birth born in a earthly planets or earthly families. It means you must to die. As a if you are heavenly planets, they have quality or their ability. They are not die like as humans. It means we have na gradually birth, old age, disease, and then they after die. But in a heavenly planets, they are not die like as a humans. They are also humans, but like in a earthly planets. So after the end of his bank balance, they directly fell down in a earthly planet. So our consciousness is need to develop how to becomes free from this entanglement or this anxieties. Otherwise, if you are say that someone says that you are not ordinary peoples, you are highly qualified persons, and you are not going to die. One of the police person in everyone know him. The name is Michael Jackson's. They think that or they never want to die, and they taking a too much treatment or different type of the treatment for a becoming immortals, because they have much money. But what is the benefit of that? जय जगन्नाथ बल्लभ सुभद्रा मैया की जय, गौर निताई की जय. Then what is, but what is the use of that money? They suffer immediately or early. It means every people we sees in news, reading in newspapers or books, some scientists research that type of the research, this type of the research. They have the making the medicine. What type of the medicines? Then if you drink the medicines, or eat the medicines, we are becomes a immortals. Foolish peoples, they are foolish peoples, or they are demons. They are trying to become say immortal because we are in a earthly planet. It means we must live that word. This word is one day. That is the practical things. But if we are not accept the practical things, it means we are also suffering that type of the anxiety and this type of the anxiety also. So intelligence thinks is that one day we leave this body, this world, then utilize our times for a service of the Lords, service of the Vaishnavas, and serve for a humanity. Then our life is becomes a successful. If you are not using our body, our life for this purpose, it means we lost everything, or we cannot utilize our body for proper purpose. It means this speaker you use for a amplify the sounds, or connection between the amplifiers and sounds to amplify the sounds. But if you are not use the speaker for proper purpose, then what is the use of this mic? Nothing, simply waste of the times. Similarly, if you are not utilize our time for a how to becomes, how to free from this entanglement, or how to utilize my body, mind, and intelligence for a service of lords and his associates, then our life is successful. Otherwise, we misuse our bodies or waste our life. That is the real understandings as my understandings, or when what I read from my scriptures or hearing from the Vaishnavas. So today we stop here. If you have any questions, ask. No questions. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु प्रपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जयंता जय दूत चंद्र जय। या पोस्ट केलं ना?